this video, we are going to respond to your comments, and the most repeated one has been, without a doubt, that we changed the wooden base for a transparent one, to show that there were no hidden batteries. With this new acrylic base, you can see below how this cable goes from the alternator to the plug base. This works as follows. This alternator, modified to be a high-efficiency generator, by inducing an initial movement with a cable, hitting a pole, starts to rotate, and generates a voltage that is injected to the plug base, from which will feed this 220-volt motor through this cable connected to the motor junction box. When the motor is powered, by means of the belt connected to the pulleys, it will start to rotate, feeding back to the generator. In this way, the generator will generate up to 10 kW of maximum power, thanks to the fact that we have previously modified it with a configuration of neodymium magnets very specific for this generator. Those 10 kW are more than enough to keep moving the motor and to power more electrical devices. This is how our infinite power motor works. As we can see, there is no battery of any kind in the base. We are going to show it to you from all angles to see that there is nothing anywhere. You can see through the slits of the different components that there are no wires coming out anywhere or anything strange. Stay tuned for the rest of the video because we will continue to show the interiors and much more of this engine. Another of your most popular requests has been for us to do some tests with the engine, since in the assembly video we didn't give many details about it and we didn't show it inside. As usual, many of you thought it had a trick, so many of you asked us to connect it directly to the power supply. Here you can see that if we connect the motor plug to a tester, no voltage is detected. And if we connect it to the main power, it turns on as any motor would. As you can see, now here we connect the motor directly to our 220-volt socket. This way you will see that the motor internally has no hidden batteries, and that it is just a normal motor. Now we are going to start it as usual with this little rope that we will wrap around the alternator pulley. Throughout the video, we will be interspersing several single shots recorded with a cell phone, without cutting, so you can see the scene from several angles so that the skeptics can see that there are no wires anywhere. We are going to measure the voltage directly on the alternator. And as you can see, the voltage is constant. If we measure the engine, we get the same reading. By the way, many also say that there was a battery hidden in the upper engine module, but you can see it here open. Now, with the power strip off, we see that there is no voltage on either the engine or the alternator, both at the plug and directly on the wires coming out of the engine. If we had had any batteries hidden inside the alternator, engine or power strip, it would be showing when measuring. And as you can see, there is no voltage. Another of your doubts is about the power strip, where you also say that there could be hidden batteries. We are going to open it, but what can be opened, which is only a part of it because it has safety screws that prevent to disassemble it completely. As you can see, the motor plug has no voltage. Now we disassemble the cover of the terminal strip of this socket. And we check with the voltmeter. As you can see, there is 0 volts. Now we press the button to turn it on, and we measure again. As you can see, there is still no voltage when we measure directly the sockets of the socket, which proves that there are no batteries inside. Anyway, we doubt that we could hide such small batteries in that power strip and that they could power all the tests we do in these videos. In fact, you have a 2-hour test later in this video. Now we reassemble the terminal strip and leave it firmly in place. The famous neodymium magnets, which you keep asking about, are part of the industrial secret that protects the patent we talked about in the previous video. Precisely, in order not to violate it yet, we can't reveal the exact specifications of it. But we can clearly show you how these magnets are. It is a magnet that has a curvature underneath that fits perfectly to the circumference of the generator rotor and fits perfectly with the coils. The dimensions we cannot give, and the amount of Gauss on the curvature we are not going to reveal it either, and we won't do so until we reach our goal to ensure our protection. The key to this engine lies in the relationship between the magnets and the alternator, and one more hidden detail, so we do not recommend that you try to assemble it on your own until we reveal all the details, as it will almost certainly not work for you. You have more information about this in the 2-hour video where we explain this in more detail. As we have the engine configured with this modified generator, only 240 volts can be obtained. In order to obtain 120 volts with this same configuration, we would need a 220 volts to 110 transformer. However, in a future video we will manufacture a new device in which we will have different output voltages, including 120 volts. Many of you ask about the capacity that the device can support or if it suffers from overheating. To check this, you have on the one hand the 2-hour test that we have shown you before, and on the other hand, we are going to make in this video a small demonstration also of charging and heating, taking the opportunity to show you the internal wiring of the motor, which we will later open from the inside. Throughout this video we are going to record several times like this with the cell phone so that you can see all possible angles and see that there are no strange wires or strange things anywhere. While we wind the cable to start the device, we will answer the question of charging. This device will never shut down when connecting a large load. What could happen is that the generator winding would burn out and stop working. For that reason, we will never connect an exaggerated load, because we do not want the device to burn out. In future projects, we will create larger motors that can support a larger load. Here, as you can see, the engine hasn't started because we forgot to connect the power strip. Without the power strip on, the current is not transmitted from the generator to the engine and the circuit is cut off. We have left this take because we think it proves, once again, that the system works as we said it does. We rewind the rope and we promise that this is the last time we will show the complete process of winding the rope. For future videos, we will replace the rope with something else faster, or speed up the video at those points. We don't do it now, so you can see that there are no editing tricks anywhere. For those who always try to look for the trick, that black thing you see behind there is not hiding any kind of cables, it is just the leg of a tripod to hold the black fabric behind. We couldn't leave it less visible. In some of the sweeps with the mobile, you can see clearly that it is a leg like the other tripods for spotlights that we have. We are going to connect a radial saw, which is something that requires a lot of power. Mostly, so you can see that with the transparent base and with everything much more visible, it is still working properly. As you can see, we are turning it on and off without being connected to the power strip, so you can see that it doesn't turn itself on. It doesn't have any internal batteries or anything like that. As you can see, the radial is disconnected when you unplug it from the machine, because it doesn't have internal batteries of any kind. Also, we have shown you in this shot the Liberty engine from every possible angle, so you could see that there are no hidden wires, no gimmicks of any kind hidden around. As for the temperature, this machine gets a little hot, but it doesn't get too hot. It can reach a maximum temperature of about 50 degrees, so you can touch it with your hand and you won't get burned. But it doesn't go beyond that, it does not get hotter. As we have said before, in case of connecting more load that it can support, suddenly the internal winding would burn, and then, of course, it would get very hot. But working with its normal working load, it never gets a considerable temperature. Now, we are going to disassemble the black motor cover, which many of you said could hide batteries. As you can see, inside that panel there is only the motor wiring. We are going to put the voltmeter directly so that you can see that indeed they have voltage. Finally, I know that many of you wanted us to walk again with the motor in arms, with the transparent plate. The problem is that the plate is a little too thin, and when we try to lift the motor, it bends slightly and the tension of the belt is lost, making everything unstable. The other place where you accuse us of hiding batteries that fit the system is in the black motor. Here, you are going to see how we disassemble it without cutting. To do this, let's first carefully uninstall the motor from the acrylic plate. Now we are going to remove the pulley so that we can see the inside of the motor. We will remove the cover here. As you can see, inside the motor there is nothing strange either. It is a normal motor, with nothing camouflaged or hidden. Also, as you have seen in the first part of this video, it doesn't work by itself. If we connect it to a socket, it just starts, but if not, it doesn't move if it doesn't get power from the alternator. Finally, we are going to open the cover of the connection box, and as you can see, inside we simply have the engine connections. What we have next to the cylindrical connection cover is the starting capacitor from this single-phase motor. As you can see, there are not enough batteries to power this system for 2 hours, connecting things like in our long video.